All right. Rod Wood, team president, spoke at a fan event in Grand Rapids and explained to the fans that Martha Ford ain't gonna tolerate mediocrity through with the Detroit Lions organization, and she way more cutthroat than her husband, Mr. Ford, was. So let's talk about it. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for showing love. Blessings to the brothers and sisters out there for supporting the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon button as well. And yeah. I don't think that's hard to be more cutthroat than Mr. Ford. You know, he let Matt Millen run amok, didn't know what Matt Millen was doing. And then after that, he promoted, people in Matt Millen's team, which were Martin Mayhew and Tom LeWine to run the team. So you can't get too much football stupider than Mr. Ford. Okay? Just real talk. How you go 0-16 and then you promote within? Everybody should have been gone. They should have burnt this thing down. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So let me just start off by saying the barometer ain't too hard to get to. All right, if Martha Ford want to show me she cutthroat, she cutthroat. She want to show me that, man. If Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia have a mediocre year this year, and if they go 6-10 or they go 7-9. You know what I'm saying? If they go that type of way, anything south of 8-8, I'm being generous saying 8-8. 8-8, they should be on the hot seat. This playoffs a bust the following year, okay? Unless they make the playoffs at 8-8, it has happened before. Then they should be fired. Anything less than 8-8 this year, she can show me and make me a believer, and I buy into the Lions 100%. If she fired Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia for a subpar year this year, then I believe her. But at the same time, it's still incompetence being run throughout the organization, bro. It's still incompetence. And let me explain this. Remember, remember we just talked about a second ago about Rod Wood, team president. She hired him to be the team president, and he don't have no football background. Not nothing. If I remember right, he don't have a football background. So how do you have a team president who don't have a football background? How the fuck does that work? I mean, you better off hiring Barry Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And they want to make me a believer, okay? And it's 100% that it's turned around. It's only one way to do that, man. That's win a playoff game, have a home playoff game at least, or just win a playoff game. That's just they win a playoff game and they look legit. I believe this team turning the corner. They haven't won one since 1991. She took over in 2014. It's been a half a decade and they still ain't bust a move. So how cutthroat can she be? Okay, she got rid of Mayhew and LeWine. Like, shit, 10 years too late. Okay, she still let them run the franchise for a second before she got Bob Quinn. Like, you can't convince me, no offense to her, no 97-year-old woman, whatever she is, know shit about football. I don't care how long she's been around. She's been around the Lions organization. So the past few decades, since 57, she don't know shit about shit. All she knows is wins and losses. You talking X's and O's, whatever. Remember, if she knew so much about freaking football, you know what I'm saying? Why does she need the NFL to assist her in the coach in the general manager search? You know what I'm saying? And the book is still out on Bob Quinn. I ain't knocking him. He done way better than Matt Millen did. He doing better than Mayhew did. Mayhew had one good draft. And I will continue to draft blast as we get into June. Is where we go back and we review previous Lions drafts. We did it last year. I'll create a playlist for it, man, pretty soon if I can get to it. He's already had better drafts. He's already had better middle round picks. Now, second round picks, they probably on par. You know what I'm saying? Mayhew best second round pick was Darius Slay. Bob Quinn, you got Tease Tabor, Ashawn Robinson, Janani Tavali, and I might be missing one. So the book's still out on him. Okay? Just because Rod Wood come out there and say, the organization is running better because it's a change at top. Martha Ford hired you. You don't have no experience. You around here putting Wi-Fi in the stadium. I don't give a shit about no good Wi-Fi in the stadium. We want wins. If you could play without no electricity and no LED bulbs, as long as we can win, I don't think nobody be complaining. Even if your chair was the most uncomfortable chairs out there. Even if you had the worst food, if we winning and we bringing championships, we win the playoff games, we ain't the laughing stock. Every time we got to go out there on social media in the real world to discuss our football team, the first thing motherfuckers say, y'all niggas was 0-16. Y'all was 0-16. We the laughing stock, man. It's to the point where I'm not defending no more, bruh. I'm not defending no more. I'm not going back and forth with a Packer fan, a Bear fan, a Viking fan, a Cowboy fan. No, I always go back and forth with the Cowboys. They garbage as fuck too. I'm sorry. They ain't gonna change. But at the end of the day, they not backing us up, man. They not in our foxhole with us, man. As bad as we want a championship, do the Lions want it that bad? No. I'm not convinced. And if they do want it that bad, they incompetent on how to do it. You know what's going on? They trying to build a playhouse in the back, right? They trying to build a treehouse or something, but don't have no instructions how to do it. That's what they doing. They don't have a how to build a Super Bowl caliber team for dummies. They don't got that. Somebody need to create that book for the Fords and for the Lions organization, bro. How to build a team for dummies, man. Real talk. Because they don't everything is improv, man. They don't really have no plan at the top. Now Bob Quinn, he gotta have a plan. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's some conflict of interest in the building, man. I don't really believe that Bob Quinn really want to keep Matthew Stafford. I think he want to go out there and find his own quarterback, just like he wanted to go out there and find his own head coach from Jim Caldwell. You can't tell me that he don't want to go out there and get his own quarterback. And I'm gonna do a video on that sometime later, maybe after this if I got some time before I pick the Rugrat up from school. You know, he don't want Matthew Stafford, and I'm gonna speak on that. Watch, if he get fired after this season, I'll guarantee you at some point a book gonna come out or he gonna speak and say, I ain't want Matthew Stafford. You know, Martha Ford, she liked Stafford. It was personal. They wanted to keep Matthew Stafford. I want to choose my own guy. If I get my own shot, another shot in the NFL, I want my own head coach and quarterback. I guarantee you, that's gonna be the narrative. He got to go out there, him and Matt Patricia got to go out there and say, we want Stafford. No, they don't. I tell them motherfuckers lying, bro. But if she truly cutthroat, man, and Stafford goes for that as well. If Stafford ain't cutting it, and he clearly the problem again this year, I don't give a fuck with he ain't got this, he ain't got that. Shit, I ain't got a lot of things, but I make shit jump at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I still need to be fixed. I might not have the two, but you know what? I'm going to make something jump. Single mothers do it every day. For the last 50, 60, 70 to the beginning of the time, single mothers made something jump. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, man. Everything not going to be perfect. Everybody want to nitpick. Is everything perfect for Rodgers? No. Everything perfect for Peyton? No. Everything was perfect for Luck? No. That's not no excuse. For $30 million, either you get the job done or you don't get the job done. And that's another reason she going to be cutthroat. If homeboy don't get the job done with Darrell Bevel, let's see how cutthroat she is. And that means that Bob Quinn didn't get the job done. So they have another subpar year, and she was so cutthroat that she going to take her lightsaber and cut Matthew Stafford off the team and fire Bob Quinn and them. That's the real question. You know, and I ain't going to say she capping it or she telling the truth until after the season. Now, we have a great season. Or I say 8-8 is respectable, man. You know, with some injuries here and there. All right, then. You know what? I can slide and build for the future. All right, I'm cool with that. But if it's 7-9, 6-10, 5-11, 4-12, I ain't trying to hear it, bro. I ain't trying to hear from the Pat Stafford protectors. I ain't trying to hear from any Bob Quinn protectors. She need to go ahead, cut it. The Lions losing way too much. She need to cut them. She need to get rid of the quarterback, the coach, and the general manager, bruh. And that's on everything I love, man. So I need to see it to believe it, man. I don't think it's too hard for her to be more cutthroat than Mr. Ford. And he's an idiot, bro. I wish I knew him. Oh, man, Mr. Ford, I didn't mean to shut the line down again, man. And you just the 30th mistake you made this year. Here go a raise. Good fella. Good job. Just don't do it again. He trusts anybody. He's a sucker. He was a sucker. I'm sorry. You know, he was a sucker. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And he got some stories about him from when they opened, his family that opened that Dearborn plant. I'm not going to get into that. You know what? They ain't the most trusted, caring people, but you know what? Read a book and you read about the shit that they did. It is what it is, though, man. Motor City Sports Talk. I'll link the article in the description. I'm not calling hogwash until it's time to pull the trigger, and we'll see if she can cut it. But don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the video. Salute to everybody following on both channels. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. We gone.